Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Max, and for today's video, it's going to be a Dead by Daylight discussion on Myers, and if we should or some proposed changes to rework him. This is not anything official for the game, however, I just noticed that several members in the community, when talking about different killers, put Myers in a perspective of feeling clunky and out of date and possibly in need of a rework, and I recently on stream have been trying to get done all the Steam achievements, and one that I haven't done yet was Adapt Myers. Took me 4 tries. The game before this, someone DC'd. The other 2 times, I got rolled through, so I started putting on incrementally better add-ons. This was the best add-on combination that I had used to get an Adapt attempt, and I do it in this game. But it kind of prompted the discussion point that I played a little bit of him, at least Adapt, and I played him a lot more when I would mess around with other builds and actually using relevant perks, but it made me realize that I think there's a couple of talking points about his power and how things could be adjusted so that he feels a bit more, maybe not fair, but at least more engaging as a killer. Some of these changes I'm going to propose, probably not balanced, a whole slew of issues to come with them, but I'm just here to toss out some ideas that came to mind and hope that you guys may like or dislike some of those ideas, have some of your own that we could talk about, just something interesting, because I realize that a lot of people say that he's pretty clunky, and admittedly, I, to an extent, can actually agree with that pretty heavily. His power, I think the biggest thing is the fact that 99ing the power, while it's not a bad thing, granted, you know, if you just pop your tier 3 whenever and go, you kind of get punished for losing some time. If you 99 your tier 3 and you wait to pop someone, it still feels kind of bad that right when you catch up to someone, you still like do this tiny like little hesitate to pep up your stock and then go. So one change that I just thought, in my opinion, feels like a quality of life thing. If there's more experienced Myers players who feel otherwise, I'd be happy to hear about that, because you know, I'm not experienced. I just want to come from that background, where maybe it's akin to like Ghostface's power, where I understand he can 99, but if you were to stalk the full like 100% and it finishes, it doesn't immediately chuck you into tier 3. Rather, you might have a small cooldown of just like a tiny window so you don't accidentally pop it. But now, the moment you press your button, you're instantly pushed into tier 3. There's no waiting to try and, you know, like do the small little hiccup to finish your stock right before you get to somebody. You can just pop it in the middle of the chase and go. That probably is like the smallest difference in terms of like a rework. However, to me, I feel like that's something that probably could be a welcome change, so you don't need to worry about 99ing and then accidentally getting to tier 3. It's like, once you stock up to 100% and you're ready to activate tier 3 when you want, you could still surprise people with a, oh shit, he's ready to go, you know? To me, I felt like that was a reasonable change, something that made a legitimate quality of life thing. That doesn't change the balance of him in the slightest. I think there's still some other glaring issues, but I felt like that could be a tiny concept that would be a welcome one, at least for me. Like I said, I'm not the best Myers player, so someone out there might have a reason you want to keep yourself 99 and do the hiccup thing, but in my mind, that's something like seems like a good change. Another thing I thought of was, honestly, this was probably, you know, not a great idea, and I'm fully prepared to admit that, but if they kind of inverted the range to stock progress so that the further away you are, the more stock progress you got. And to me, it's just like, I guess it feels kind of weird. And granted, you know, I could be doing this completely wrong, which is fine. But the fact that like I'm rewarded more for staring straight at them like 5 feet away, granted, it's harder to do, so you should be rewarded. But it's like stalking at a certain distance. Like when you're pretty far away, it feels like, I mean, yeah, you can do it if they don't notice you, but like, I never want to pop the power when I'm far away anyways, so maybe it's cool that they don't really get that kind of warning or knowledge that I'm actually stalking them from a far distance, and I'm rewarded for doing so. And once I actually choose to engage and interact with survivors at a much closer distance, then we're actually talking about getting downs and hooks and not just trying to hide behind a rock 5 feet away, you know? That I understand could probably come with a whole slew of problems and people might not like it, but it was just kind of, on theme with him being a stalker, kind of creepy, and later on in the franchise, I hope it's not, too big a spoiler that he just kind of becomes an unstoppable menace in some cases. So it kind of made sense to me that, like, at a distance, he's rewarded for being a stalker, and then up close, he's rewarded for trying to be a powerhouse, right? You don't need to worry about trying to stalk right when you get up to them, and I guess that kind of helps with not really being stealth killer as much as it rewards the whole, like, distant stalking playstyle compared to just doing the stalking up close. I could be wrong. This is not how you play him. Just an idea that came to mind. Another thing, and once again, I started playing a couple years back, so I might not have all the knowledge here. I believe he was the killer that came out with the obsession mechanic perks, and I don't think his power has anything to do with the obsession. I don't, unless, I could be 100% wrong right here. I don't think he stalks his obsession any bit faster or anything, but maybe that'd be a cool change, like as a base thing. Like, Myers was obsessed. Why not have an obsession somewhat base kit built in, where it's like one particular survivor that you can maybe either gain stalk faster off of, maybe if you stalk and they're like doing an action, you get some type of information that they're doing an action. Like, who knows, maybe you can know that they're working on a generator, like that generator glows, or maybe you see some crouched over teammate healing because they're healing. Like, I'm definitely breaking the barriers of balance with that change, but to me it's just like I feel like there could be more done with the whole obsession thing rather than it just being perk based. Granted, I think if you're running like tombstone stuff, I'd imagine play with your food's probably pretty good because movement speed to catch up to him is solid, but just obsession stuff that's not perk based, I feel like if there was a killer that could have some type of intrinsic value with the obsession, it would be him. And unless I'm mistaken, like I said, you might already be able to stalk faster, like stalk your obsession faster, and I don't know that. But I think that having possibly something more about your obsession would be awesome. And you'll see, like, right here, it's like I'm just choosing to stalk someone that's right in front of me instead of going for a swing. And it's like, I don't know, this as a play style felt weird to me. Like, I understand his kit. It's not like super crazy, but it's like maybe I should have just swung there. I don't know. I really don't. It's just kind of weird to see that his play style is so like drastically different, and I'm not 100% sure how I would play him, I guess. That's really about it. I mean, the whole add-on changes and stuff, I realize is probably something that's out of my scope of knowledge. Like, I like the tombstone pieces. I know people don't. I just find it fun to play against. By the way, I found her in the locker because they were healing at the end, and I figured she couldn't have run far without scratch marks. But that's about it. I mean, I could go into like add-ons and other reworks later on, but I just felt like those were a couple of proposed changes to his power that could either make him feel a little bit better to play or, bring him up in balance a bit, because I am pretty sure he's among the weakest killers in the game. That's really it for the video. If you guys got any possible ideas for a rework for him, not just saying he needs one, but like actually some type of conclusive, like, hey, this is a proposed change I'd have, let me know, because I genuinely would love to hear it. I think he's an awesome killer, one of my favorite characters from horror franchises that unfortunately hasn't gotten the love that he needs. I was also pointing out that unless I'm completely deranged, I don't think that purple key does anything with those add-ons, so that was kind of funny. But that's about it from my end. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I might miss an upload this week. It is my brother's birthday, so I do want to make sure that that's all taken care of. I spent some time with him, so if I miss an upload, I'll be sure to make an announcement just saying, hey, I'm gonna be AFK doing some other stuff. But that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, everybody. Peace.